Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends at Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host, Mikey. Today we're going to start the study of Christmas cookies blanket. This is designed by me using a 5mm size H crochet hook today. We are also using Red Heart Soft yarn as our choice because the colors were quite vibrant. You're going to need a total of 7 balls, and there's 1 ball of each one of these colors. My first recommendation to you is to grab a pen or a pencil and just grab the yarn and say this is contrast A, and just on the ball label itself, just write A. And it will be easier when you're jumping the colors in this pattern to be able to look at this and not really question things too much. So go through your balls, label them up, and then we're going to begin shortly after. The blanket size at the end will be 47 inches in diameter, and it will go as a round, then it will go into like a rippling effect and then back to round. This particular pattern also has the crochet diagram available for you so that you'll be able to follow this along in order to do it. When you're reading this, you're going to be reading this as counterclockwise in this rotation. So you're going to see a lot of easy repeating ideas, and because it's like a slice of a pie, once you understand the repeat, it's really easy to go around. So without further ado, we're going to get ourselves started. Grab your 5mm size H crochet hook today, and we're going to be using the color A. So all the colors are listed. So with the A, you can see B up here, and C, and so on, and we'll be following those colors along as we go. So let's begin. Let's begin, and when you start any of the colors in this particular blanket, don't waste a lot of tail ends on this because the yarn can get quite short at the end, meaning that I got really close to the end of some of the balls. So don't waste a lot of yarn at the very beginning. You're going to start with a slip knot and chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch to the beginning chain. So going in, yarning over, and pulling through to create the center ring of your blanket. Let's begin to round number 1. Let's begin round number 1. So I want you to put the straggler around the outside of the ring and just simply going into the center, and you are going to apply 8 single crochets in a row. So we have 1, and go right up over top of that straggler, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Once you have 8 done, and if you've gone over the straggler, you can simply ignore that and just slip stitch to the beginning. And if you're not sure, count the tops back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you'll go and slip stitch to the 8th one back, or the very beginning. Even as an experienced crocheter, I will always count back because it matters on the first round completely, or your multiples will not be working. So slip stitch through. If you did go over the straggler like I did, then just take your scissors and just cut that down, and let's begin to round number 2. Going forward, I'm going to give you the stitch repeats, and then you're going to do it and put me on pause. You're going to chain 1, and in the same one of the join, you're going to apply 2 single crochet. So we have 1 and 2, and then 1 into the next one. So you're repeating all the way around. Will be 2 into the next one. So 1 and 2, and then 1 into the next. Please do that same repeat going all the way around for round number 2. Coming around, the last one is just 1 by itself, and that's just keeping that stitch multiple, and then you just slip stitch to the beginning one to finish off round number 2. I'm going to keep this color and move on to round number 3. Round number 3, chain 1, and we're going to single crochet in the same one as the join, and then we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and then just single crochet into the very next one, and then chain 2, 1 and 2, and then go to the very next one to do the same thing. So single crochet, chain 2, and then move to the next one. Please do this all the way around for round number 3. When you get all the way around, don't forget the chain 2 before joining it to the very first one. If you need the stitch counts, please just go to the video description and you'll find a link to the pattern and you can read it from there. This is the end of this color, and what we want to do without wasting too much yarn is that you're just going to trim it and then put it through a tapestry needle. I'm only going to ever show it one time in this entire series, which will be right now. So once you just pull that tight, grab a tapestry needle and turn it over to the back side of your blanket. Take this and put it through a tapestry needle. And you're just going to carefully stay within the same coloring anytime that you're changing out colors. So just weaving it in through the back side. Try not interfering and putting the needle to the front of the work. Okay, so stay to the back. So you'll pull through. And when you pull through the first time, make sure that you don't stretch it to the point where it changes the shape of your pattern. So then you go back a second time through a slightly different path, and then a third time as a charm. Don't be afraid to actually put it through the same strand, like separating the plies of what you're doing back and forth, and that will really help it get stuck. Once it's in, you safely just trim it down and you're good to go. So we're moving on to round number 4 with the color B, and that's next. With the color B, you're going to create a slip knot and put it onto your hook. We're going to do what is called a standing single crochet. Choose any of the chain 2 spaces and insert your hook in. Yarn over and pull through, and you have 2 onto the hook, and pull through the 2. That's a standing single crochet. Now we're going to put another single crochet into that same spot. Okay, just let that straggler just fall out of the way. And so anytime you need to weave in your ends, please use a tapestry needle. The next chain 2 space is going to have 3 single crochets in it. So 1, 2, and 3. So here's your repeat going all the way around, is that we are going to put 2 single crochets into the next one, and then in the next one there's going to be 3. So please continue that same pattern going all the way around for round number 4. I'm coming all the way around. The last space has got 3 into it because we're keeping in the same repeat pattern, and then we are going to join to the first standing single crochet with a slip stitch. We're going to keep this color going and go on to round number 5. Round number 5, chain 3, that will count as a double crochet, and double crochet into the same one as the join. The next 2 are going to be by itself, so 1 double crochet in each of those. So the repeat pattern for number 5 is as follows. The next one will have 2 into the same one, so 1 and 2, and then the next 2 are by themselves. Please do this all the way around for round number 5. Coming up to the end of number 5, there's just 2 in a row by themselves to finish off the repeating of that, and then you're just going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3. Now, you want to get rid of this color just like I showed you, so just snip the yarn, not too long, use your tapestry needle, get rid of it, and get the color C ready for round number 6. Let's begin round number 6 with the color C. So the chain work that you had before is where you want to start, and we're going to join with a standing single crochet around the front side of that. So you're going to go in through the front and back out, so it's basically a front post. You're going to just yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over, pull through 2, and that's a standing single crochet on the front post. Toss this in behind and use your tapestry needle later to weave that in. You're now going to, on the next post, do a doing a single crochet in the back post. So just coming around the back side and just isolate that post and go back to the back, pull through 2. And you're going to alternate between this, so just pull this tighter so it looks better. And then you'll go to the front on the next one. So going into the front, single crochet on the front post, and then the back is the next. So please alternate between the 2 of these so you don't have to worry about adding in any extra stitches. You're just applying either a back post or a front post single crochet all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of round number 6. I'm coming up all the way around. The last one before the end should be a back post single crochet, and you were just going to join it to the very beginning standing front post single crochet. Okay, let's move on to round number 7 next. Number 7, we're going to work on the back loops only for this round to create more texture. So to start this, we're going to chain 3, and you are going to start in the back loops only. So if you're new to crochet, the back loops, when you're doing this, do you see this? There's always 2 loops that is 1 stitch, but if you use the one in behind, it's a back loop. So use the back loop of the very first one that you did the join, and sorry, that's got to be a double crochet, so just wrap the hook and going into the back loop only, just like that. And now the next 3 in a row using the back loops are just a double crochet by itself. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so the repeat pattern all the way around is that there's going to be 2 double crochets in the back loops in the next one. So 1 and 2, and then the next 3 are by themselves. So we have 1, 2, and 3. Please complete that same pattern all the way around for round number 7. Coming up to the end of round number 7, this is the end of this color. So you're going to go right to the end and then just join it to the top of the chain 3. Get rid of the color and move on to color D as we start round number 8 in a moment. We're going to begin round number 8 with the color D. And what I like to do is that the slip stitch always creates what appears to be an extra stitch right here. So what I do is that I start in the stitch before that chain up, just to make it look like we're going to jump over. And it's an easy way of hiding stuff. So you're going to start in the stitch right before. It doesn't say this in the pattern. This is a video tip. And I put it onto the hook like this. And we are going to start, and we are going to do a single crochet into there. So a standing single crochet into the first one. And then we're going to single crochet into the same stitch as the first one. So we're going to single crochet again. So do you see how this slip stitch looks like it's an extra stitch? So what I do is I just start my counts from here. So we're now going to single crochet in the next 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I start again the same repeating. So we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next, and then the next 4 will be by itself. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you repeat that around. So the reason why I like to change where the stopping and starting is so I don't end up with a solid line of what appears to be off. And so when you're jumping around the circles, that's what I tend to do when you're not watching me. So let's continue that, and I'll see you at the end of round number 8 in a moment. Coming up to the end of round number 8, still keeping in sequence. And so by doing what I did before, see, you end up with the stitch right before instead of a gapping space. So that's a nice way to do it. And then I slip stitch to the beginning. So now we're going to move on to round number 9 using the same color. Number 9, chain 1, 1 single crochet in the same one as the join. You're now going to chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, and only skip 2 stitches and then single crochet in the third. And that's what you're going to do all the way around. So chain a total count of 3, so 1, 2, 3, skip only 2, and single crochet the third one away. Please do this around for round number 9. And coming back around, my last step is to chain 3 before joining it to the first single crochet. So this will be the end of this color, so use your tapestry needle and fasten that off and get ready for the color E as we go into round number 10. So let's go on to the color E for round number 10, and we're going to go into any of the chain 2 spaces. As I told you already, I like to change where the stop and start is so that they don't ever be the same spot. You decide what works for you. So just go into any chain 2 spot and just pull through to attach, and then chain 1. That won't count as anything. In the same chain 2 space now, in all of them, you're going to do the following. You're going to start with a half double crochet, and then 2 double crochet in a row, and then 1 half double crochet. Okay, and that'll be your repeat. So just toss this to the side. So go to your next spot and just put in a half, 2 doubles, and 1 half. Okay, do that all the way around for round number 10. Coming up all the way back around, just join to the first half double crochet, and then you're done. We're going to get rid of this yarn. We're going to go back to color D as we go into number 11 in a moment. Let's begin round number 11. Start with the slip knot already on the hook. We want to play between the groups of these stitches. So just go in between the 2 half double crochets, and we are going to do a standing single crochet in the first one. And then you need just to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you were going to put that inside and go in between the next 2 groups. Single crochet and then chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and in between the groups. So you'll see in the diagram there was an arrow, and the arrow is just pointing that it's between the stitches and not into a stitch at all. Please do this all the way around for round number 11. Finishing up number 11, you got your chain 4, and then you're just going to slip stitch to the beginning. Okay, we want to get rid of this color D, and then we're moving on to the color A for round number 12. Let's start with A for round number 12. This is probably the hardest round of them all because there's 2 different counts that we have going on. So we're going to start off, and you're going to go to any of the chain 4 spaces, and you're going to do a standing single crochet into any of the spaces. You're then going to put 3 single crochets into that same space. So 1, 2, and 3. So with the standing 1 and the 3, that gives you the count of 4. To keep this thing from buckling, the next one has to be 5 single crochets into the same one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the next one has to be back to the 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the next one has to be 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you have to keep doing that. The last one before you join will have 5 in it because you're doing the repeat. I found myself, if I let my brain just go too far and just daydream, I can always screw this up. So I got to make sure it's 4 and then 5, 4 and 5, all the way around for round number 12. So I'm back all the way around. I have 5 in the last one, and I'm just going to slip stitch to the beginning single crochet, and we're going to keep this color and move along to round number 13. Round number 13, chain up 3, that counts as your first double crochet, and double crochet into the same one. We're now going to double crochet by itself in the next 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here's your repeat going around. The next one will have 2 into the same one. So we have 1 and 2, and then the next 4 are by themselves. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Please do that same repeat all the way around for round number 13. At the end of the round, you've just finished up your 4 that was by itself, slip stitch to the top of the chain 3, get rid of this color, and you're going on to round number 14 with the color C. Now, as I said before about the slip stitch, it always looks like an extra stitch. Start in the stitch just before this, before the join, and therefore it'll look better. Again, this is a video tip, not in the pattern. Starting off here, and we are going to create a standing single crochet in that stitch. And just like we did before about skipping stitches, we're going to do that same thing. So we're going to chain 3. We're going to skip 2 stitches out. So 1 and 2, go to the 3rd, single crochet. So chain 3, so 1, 2, 3, skip 2 stitches, go to the third. Please do this all the way around for this round, and I'll be right back. Coming back around, I'm just chaining 3 and slip stitch to the beginning standing single crochet. Get rid of this color, and we're moving on to round number 15 with the color D next. Let's begin round number 15 with the color D. I always go to the space before the join. Here's the join, so I would go here and just do an attachment with the slip stitch, and then you're going to do exactly what you did right here. So you're going to do 1/2 double crochet, 2 doubles, and 1/2. After that, you just jump. So get rid of all the tail ends, where you can deal with that later. Jump to the next space, so you got 1/2, 2 doubles, and 1/2. Please do this all the way around for round number 15. Okay, at the end of number 15, we're just gonna slip stitch to the beginning 1/2 double crochet. So now, get rid of this color. We're moving on to round number 16 for the final of today's video, and that's gonna be with the color C. With the color C, just put it onto the hook, and we're gonna do a standing single crochet in between the groups. Like we did before, there's a different count this time though. So we're just gonna go in between the group and attach. So you're just gonna pull through, you see the 2, pull through the 2, that's a standing single crochet. Toss that aside, and we'll worry about that later. You're going to chain 4 this time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then jump in between the next group and single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and in between the next group. And you'll do that all the way around for round number 16. So I'm coming all the way around on 16, slip stitch to the beginning standing single crochet. Get rid of this color, and next time I see you in the next video, we are going to carry on, and we are going to move on. And let me just tell you the color that it's going to be. The color next time will be color B as we begin number 17 in the next video. I'll see you again, and hope you had an amazing time already, and we'd love to see your work in progress that you are doing on social media, so make sure that you do post. And it's the Summer Stitch Along, and I'm your host Mikey on behalf of Yarnspirations.com. This is what it looks like so far, and we're off to a good start.